Across the line, no eyes could trace, with brush and bloom in sacred space. A monk unknown in silence wrote the code of life in pollen's note.
No fame, no crown, no lantern fame, just scribbled rows of yellow names. But truth was blooming in the shade, where every wrinkle held the blade. This is the law of the garden, where nothing lies, where traits beg pardon. Through wrinkled seeds and flowered eyes, he saw the order gene disguise. This is the cross of the unseen, where purple hides in yellow's gene. No throne, no war, just plants aligned to teach the structure of the mind.
Round or wrinkled, tall or short, each trait a whisper, each report. He counted peas, not seeking fame, but every trait bore out a name.
They laughed, dismissed the cloistered claim, too small a voice to change the frame. But generations proved him right, the silent monk who saw the light. This is the law of the garden, where monks outpace the gilded warden. With pens and plants, with patient gaze, he found the path through nature's maze. This is the pulse of quiet men, who shift the world with ink instead.
No triumphs held, no journals rang. His words lay still while others sang. But in a lab years down the track, his voice returned and shouted back.
He never saw the world acclaim the laws that bore his hidden name. Yet every field that genes now seed still echoes Mendel's careful creed. This is the law of the garden, of double lines and unknown margins, of ratios and unseen might that split the dark and showed the light. This is the monk in soil and soul, who shaped the code and paid no toll.
In the monastery of St. Thomas in Brno, between 1856 and 1863, Gregor Mendel cultivated over 28,000 pea plants. He observed dominant recessive traits, wrinkled versus round seeds, green versus yellow pods, tall versus short stems. By controlling cross-pollination and counting outcomes over generations, he formulated the laws of inheritance, the law of segregation, and the law of independent assortment. His results were presented in 1865. Ignored by the scientific world, it wasn't until 1900, long after his death, that three botanists independently rediscovered his work. By then, Mendel had died in obscurity as abbot of his monastery, but his ratios had weighted 319,331. Truth coded in numbers, modern genetics began in a garden tended by a forgotten monk.
No legacy inscribed in gold, just seeds that whispered what they told. Now every genome that we scan still bears the print of Mendel's hand. This is the law of the garden, where silence speaks and truth is hardened. A quiet man, a buried name, yet every trait recalls his claim. This is the shape beneath the leaf, the order drawn in brief belief. In pea and strand, his word remains. He mapped the poles inside